Hey there, I'm Tim Shabanowitz.
And I'm Christopher McSweeney.
And we're here to give you Lesson 10. We're going to talk about wall space today. And as always, we have a quote for you to ponder for a little bit. So this is from Mary Lou Cook. Creativity is inventing, experimenting, growing, taking risks, breaking rules, making mistakes, and having fun. It's a mouthful. Ponder that for a little bit, and we'll see you in about 30 seconds.
All right, so as we go through this book, we are going to teach you less and less, and you are going to do more and more because we want you to remember that whole done is better than perfect,
Right.
And we want you guys to get after it.
Yes.
So in this lesson, we have a bunch of questions for you, and we want you to look at the space that you're designing, and for this one, it's kind of practical and kind of theoretical, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want you to think about your space that you're dealing with, and we want you to answer all of these questions. What goes on the walls? And not necessarily what you see immediately, but in this dream space that we are creating, what is actually going to go on your wall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and walls are usually an underutilized thing. It's usually after the fact because a lot of people like dealing with floor plans. Floor plans are what we've been dealing with in the previous lessons. I think lesson 4 was when we first encountered them. And it's a bird's eye view looking down, right? But after you arrange all that stuff, you have all this vertical wall space that can be valuable to delineate space. So please take a look at those and see what you can do with it. And these questions will help you guide your thoughts.
Absolutely. The permanently flexible idea is basically you might not live in that space forever. So how can you add value to the space without physically changing or altering the structure, which could cause all kinds of issues, right? So how can we change the space to make it seem permanent, but it's insanely flexible at the same time?
Yeah. Real quickly, as a teacher who may not have the same room from year to year, I've changed rooms so many times. I have to move my stuff all the time. You might have to move your stuff. So the stuff can't be super permanent. And that's why it needs to be flexible.
Good. So after you spend, a good amount of time, spend 10 minutes on these questions. We want you to sketch out one wall that you have to work with, right? Wherever that space is, take a picture of it or just stare at it and sketch it out. But my question for you is, how do you draw a wall, especially if the wall is blank? If the wall is blank, they're done.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to do anything else. No. So going back to this, like I said, most people like to draw in floor plan, bird's eye view looking down. Another common thing people would like to look at is the reflected ceiling plan, which I'll give you one guess what that is.
If it's not the floor plan, it's the ceiling.
Yes, that's it, which is also good, which could be a good thing to draw. But in this case, back to walls, there's really the proper term for drawing a wall is called an elevation. And all that is basically you measure from floor to ceiling, you get that height, and then you get the whole width, and then you draw directly on there. It is what we call an orthographic view, which means that there's no depth. So you can kind of show where there might be depth, but you're not showing like shading and all that kind of stuff. You're just trying to get locations for things, just like you would for a floor plan. So it's kind of like, how can I arrange this? And then after you arrange it, then you can start going deeper and deeper, where you can get into cross sections of things. But we'll go into that later.
Awesome. Don't be afraid to sketch what is currently there or what you're dreaming, right? We're really trying to push you to dream into what the walls could be.
Yeah.
All right. So following up, we have a DOD for you. You want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah. So the Kimball Art Museum by Louis Kahn. It's in Texas. And it's an art museum. And if you need to know anything about art museums, and I think we talked about it with Calatrava, is that natural light is bad. Calatrava's art museum has direct sunlight coming on into the building. This one has a different aesthetic. It actually uses reflected light to diffuse the UV light, and then it bounces off the walls. And that's why it's with the wall space, because how it affects the walls, all the walls in this space are movable depending on the art exhibit. So how the walls play with the light and
Permanently flexible.
It's permanently flexible. Exactly. So take a look. Hopefully you like it and get some ideas from there.
Good. Well, get to work. This lesson has a bunch of stuff for you to do. So don't just watch the video and be done. Actually start really processing and dreaming. We hope this video helps, and good luck.
See you on the next one.